married. Dr. Tartt, are you saying then that their counterpart exists, that toe-to-toe, every black woman that wants to get married, these guys are out there? And if so, where do you find them?
Well, I mean, we are out there. I mean, from the statistics, no. But when you think back to college, the ratio was still 5 to 6 to 7 to 1 for black women and black men. But black women didn't report seeing a disproportionate ratio of men. They still had access to a whole quandary of black men. So it's really about your perception. Two, I mean, it is accurate. That's part of the problem, is that it's access to black men that a lot of black women are legitimately complaining about. We don't hang in the same places as black women. We don't go out to eat 5 and 6 deep in the restaurants or hang out at spas and go on cruises with, 6 of our boys. It's really that we need a place to meet. So I recommend to women, one, go to where the men are. I mean, go to the 100 Black Men Conference. Go to fraternity conferences. Go to sports bars. Go to, when Obama was elected, that's the first time in Atlanta I saw an even ratio of men to women, because men and women alike came out, and a lot of people were able to meet men they had never seen, that they swore never existed. So I say go to where the men are.
Let's say for right now we're going to go to where the tweets are and hear what some people have to say. SRS 5628 says, I think it's because we don't see any men, or very few men, that are on our level. Men of all races need to step up. Maurice Hayes 86 says, some are impossible to please and very difficult to get along with. And let's go to one more. Triple R says, I'm so tired of the single successful black women who can't get a man thing. Not me and my friends, but you didn't ask me. Helena, do you think, is it true? Is this just a myth that black women are not getting married?
I think that there is obviously something to it. The number 42% of unmarried black women isn't a made-up number. That is the case. But I think that when you talk about who's to blame, and we continue to talk about the single successful black woman, it's like that's the black woman's slogan. And many black women will tell you, I've met men. I have a boyfriend myself. I've met guys, and I was dating. I also live in D.C., and I think D.C. has a huge population of black professionals who are meeting each other. I think that going back to what Aldwin was saying, it's funny, in D.C. during the inauguration, I mean, this was black people with degrees summit. You could come here, and there were tons of people here. And there were a lot of women who came not with the expectation of finding their Barack, but who came just to meet people and to be in the type of environment where they felt comfortable meeting people. And I think that that's where we both have to, black women and black men, that's where we have to start from. But we can't keep saying the single successful black woman, because we're blaming her or vilifying her for being unmarried and having a master's. That's not a bad thing. And I know a lot of women who are single. A lot of my friends are single. I have some friends who are married, my sorority sisters, married with 3 children. And I look to her as an example for what I will eventually want in my life. But I'm not looking to get married tomorrow.
But maybe next year. Now I'm just playing with you. Dr. Tartt, do you agree with her? Do you think that black women are being vilified, or are we presenting them in the light of being victims?
We sure are putting a lot of pressure on them, because it's like if they are in their late 20s or 30s and unmarried, it's almost like, what's wrong with you? And they're feeling a lot of that pressure. And then we put the perception up that there are no available black men, especially with that statistic where they show the black men falling down. I mean, I started crying when I saw that. Then I looked around. My neighbor is single, my brother is single, majority of my friends are single and ready to marry. I mean, it's a myth that black men don't want to marry. What black man do you know that really wants to stay single his entire life? I mean, an old lonely man is a pitiful thing. And then, serial dating is stressful to men. I mean, it seems like on the surface, and I'll be responsible for this, we do as black men have a veneer, a mask we put up that we like being playboys and we like being out and we like having multiple options. But the reality is we'll take that woman and combine her into a transformer woman and a wife in a minute. Who wants to deal with multiple women for birthdays and holidays and their different emotions? That's a lot for a man to deal with.
A lot of birthdays to settle down.
And, that's true. Well, I mean, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's much better to have a deep emotional connection with a woman that's going to take on your last name that you want to have kids with, that turns you from Clark Kent into Superman. And I think not enough women know their power and their confidence. And I think that once they know their power and their confidence, you'll be able to date the successful man because he's been looking for you. Black men complain that they can't find a suitable black woman to marry as well.
Well, some people say that the pressure should be put on the black man, right? And not the woman necessarily to learn how to court him, but the black men. As far as the statistics, if you have 21% of black men who don't have a high school diploma, 17% of black men who are unemployed, another 8% on top of that who are incarcerated, and that's before we even talk about black men who are gay or prefer to date outside of their race. Do you think that more pressure needs to go on black men to go to college, to get a job?
Absolutely, positively. We need to step up as a race, but we also have to look at the expectations with our school systems. Black men are dropping out of school in rates of 40 and 50%, which is absolutely ridiculous. We do not hold it as standard or gold standard that our kids get education. We have allowed money and other things to come and get in the way. And then two, we as men, we have to stay there and raise our daughters, period, point blank. It doesn't matter if there's a divorce or if you don't have a good relationship with that woman. You have to stay there and be able to raise your daughter. You made her. Absolutely, we have to step up and do our part. And then three, we want to step up. Listen, the black man needs a black woman to be a better man. That's just a fact. I mean, you look at Barack Obama is who he is, and he'll tell you that's largely because of Michelle. Men know if you get a great black woman who's by your side, you feel like Superman. You transform from Clark Kent into Superman. Why let her go because you fear commitment? Because what we really fear is letting her come in our life, improve us, make us feel like Superman. We're afraid to commit. She leaves, and then the guy down the street that's less deserving in our eyes, but smarter ultimately, dates her, and then she's wearing my Superman cape. No way, that's not going to happen.